Ah, yes, Sonic the Hedgehog. One of the best things that ever came across my life since childhood. And after many years of playing through all the games, Sega has made one of the best games that ever made known to man, and we all praise it. Call me crazy, but I really feel like someone at Sega really watches my streams and content over the recent years to make my wishes come true. Just like with Yakuza, with Ichiban and Kiryu teaming up with each other. When I was revisiting the original port for Sonic Generations, I was like, man, it would be really cool if we got like a modern port for the new consoles for Sonic Generations. And they did it with more than what I even asked for. So let's just hurry up and skip on over to the actual praise of this entire game. As we know, this is a whole appreciation of one of the coolest Sega characters known to man, and he has gotten a lot of shine through this year. And I am talking about the one and only Shadoow the Hedgehog. As my experience of me playing through this whole expansion of Sonic Generations, as I like to call it, Shadow Generations, I completely was having a blast with this game, just doing everything, exploring, and just makes me excited to look forward to the new Sonic games. What really makes me happy is that they continue to polish the Sonic Frontiers engine, and it just shows a lot of hard work that they did for this whole expansion. And I cannot tell you how much fun it makes me just want to keep replaying the levels, keep exploring the hub world, and just admire that the Sonic Frontiers engine that I loved a lot from the game into the whole Shadow Generations. You can really enjoy like the whole experience just off of this whole thing. Like I enjoy Sonic Frontiers, but you can tell it's like night and day comparing between the two of the cyberspace and Sonic Frontiers and the levels and Shadow Generations, and it's a complete 180 hands-on experience. What I love to continue to praise about this expansion with the Frontiers engine is a lot of it is in-game aesthetic and transitions. It is so clean, dude. Like the fucking Shadow just punching the freaking missile that's coming at him, and then you mash the X button with the quick ease. It's one of the coolest things ever that I ever had to do, and it just feels right. This is absolute cinema. I want to give a short appreciation that I'm glad Ian Flynn is still writing for the Sonic games. It was not just for Sonic Frontiers. And I hope he continues to be the writer for the future Sonic games of whatever they have to come. Now, for my review about the stages of Shadow Generation, honestly, I don't hate any stage at all. All of them are really fun to just go around and just try to see what's the fastest route as possible. The only gripe I have with this expansion is that I wish there was a Shadow the Hedgehog stage for his own representation. And it kind of sucks that it's not the final level, or if it had to be Radical Highway, I would obviously replace Chaos Island because Shadow has nothing to do with that stage whatsoever, but it's there anyway. Not that I'm saying it's a bad stage, it just still feels weird that a game that Shadow has nothing to do like at all with no involvement, and he just has it. But I guess, you know, just want to feel that it's like one of the biggest impacts on the Sonic generation, and it is decided to include it. Another thing that I wish that Radical Highway just wasn't the last stage for Shadow, the expansion, was because that literally every interaction with Black Doom in like mid-levels and some of these things was just Radical Highway. and I just feel like we've seen enough of it already. So I don't know why it just wasn't like, you know, an actual Shadow the Hedgehog stage. But it's all good. All wells and ends well.
What? So what I was tracking was him. I won't let him escape again.
Disgusting black creatures, get out of my sight.
Speaking about stage appreciation, I'm really shocked that the 06 rep for Shadoow was not the beginning stage of his story mode, which was White Acropolis, and it was instead Kingdom Valley, which I have no issue at all. They still make the stage very fun to go around, and there was just a lot more to explore. Even the stage that was in Sonic Forces for Shadoow was enjoyable, and that stage was actually surprisingly one of the shortest stages in history in that game. Also, can we talk about the water effect in this game? It's like, really looks amazing. Looks so smooth. Now, of course, we can't forget about talking about the boss fights in this game. Every boss fight in this game is fun to go through and try to achieve X rank without getting hit, all those type of challenges. And all of them are wonderful. Bio Lizard, Metal Overlord, Mephiles. You know, I'm starting to feel like we're forgetting someone. I just couldn't put my finger around it. I'm sure it's nothing. One small detail I like about the Bio Lizard fight, and not a lot of people noticed or probably had a 3DS at the time, but this was also a boss fight in the version of the game. And it was a full platform where you run around avoiding the Bio Lizard's attack. Unlike the regular version of Sonic Adventure 2, where in the middle piece of the platform, you have to worry about not getting swept away from the water if you didn't jump. Also, the one thing I forgot to point out when I was talking about the stages was the art stage from the beginning of the game was literally just Sonic stage instead of Shadows, which is still my favorite stage in the Shadow expansion. I just wanted to point that fact out to let people know in case anyone was just wondering.
Huh?
Where am I now? Huh? Is that me? Huh? I've taken on another form? I feel as if I've left my own dimension.
I waited 2 months later for me to finish this long overdue video to have my review take of this free DLC stage, and it is the best thing I have ever got my hands on and experienced. They did not need to go so hard for just one stage alone that has to do with a movie. Yes, by the way, that movie was amazing. It was immaculately peaked. It was the best. And I felt like this is definitely the future that we want in other Sonic games. And how much of the engine I've been talking about a lot, they definitely put a lot of work into this. I have full hope for the new Sonic game. This DLC itself just made this stage even like my best. And as I said, Westopolis was technically my wish. They put the Westopolis remix into this, and I was just hyping myself up in my chair. I couldn't hold myself. It was the best music I've ever bopped my head into my ears. The stage was just crazy fun to just keep replaying. And of course the transitions.
What a waste of time. You can't stop me. I must.
I enjoyed every minute of this DLC alone on stream. I enjoyed Keanu's take on Shadow the Hedgehog. I enjoyed the aesthetics of this stage. Again, there was just so much going on, I just couldn't hold my excitement in, and I was just really hyped up more. I'm just more shocked that this DLC came out before the movie. I thought it was gonna come out like a week later after the movie, but after the Game Awards, they just gave it to us, and it was honestly one of the best things that we can ever receive from the Game Awards, from Sega themselves. And I just was just lost of words. I couldn't even really give out what I really felt on stream. I was just like peak, 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 peak.
Perfect. Oh. Control! I have no time for this. I have to complete my mission, but I'll be back.
For this DLC, it's not just a stage. They have their usual 2 challenges, and that's about it. Pretty simple, nothing really crazy. But other than that, the stage was just already a blessing as it is. Well, enough about Shadoow. We gotta talk a little about the Sonic side of things. This will be quicker. Nostalgia. Sonic Generation. The actual wish that I wanted that came with a little surprise. And as a belief that I actually just wanted it to just be the same as it is. But as what happened, there's actually some changes and some things that they added into the game that not a lot of people was happy for. What I mean by not happy, it's more of a nitpick gripe than actually supposed to be upset. But I do agree with the general audience that there are some things that I like in the original more than what they took away in the remake. Little things such as the things that happen in the cutscenes and just the actual first take of what they did in the cutscenes more than how they did in the retake.
I'll admit, you weren't half bad, Sonic.
Half bad? Are you kidding? He was all great! He collects how many?
That's what I'm talking about. I'll admit, you weren't half bad, Sonic.
Half bad? Are you kidding? He was all great! So, I have a question for you.
It was great teaming up with you. Hope you learned a few tricks that'll help you out in the future. I mean, the past. You know what I mean. It was great teaming up with you, or me. Maybe this will fast-track you to learning some new tricks in the future. Wait, I mean, past. Ugh, time travel's a chore.
And that's what I mean by nitpicks in general. At least for me when it comes to those type of things, because I already like how the original had its take, and I didn't think it was necessary for them to retake those lines, change how the way they say things, or change what happens in between the cutscenes from the original. But all things considered, I'm happy that my wish came true on the game being ported into modern consoles than just being stuck on the PS3, Xbox 360, and the 3DS. Speaking about the 3DS version, not gonna lie, I kinda wish they tried their best to bring in the 3DS versions of the stages and bosses into the modern port, because unlikely, I don't think anyone's ever gonna be able to have a chance to revisit these type of moments and stages ever again. Before I move on to the next section of my actual motivation on making this video, there's one thing I actually did not like that what they did not even change in the remaster versus what they even did in general. My big gripe about the remaster is they did not change the boost effect in this game at all. And what I mean by that is between Sonic Generation and Shadow Generation, you could tell just by the difference if I just show you this example. If no one understood what I was talking about the music disoriented whenever you boost. In Sonic Generation, whenever you boost through the speed of sound, the music gets quieter as you're doing it. Which obviously, it makes sense, but you can't hear the much banger of the music. In Shadow side, you could hear that all the time as you're boosting. Even Sonic Frontiers had that setting to fix that. And it kind of makes me sad that dang, they didn't even bother to do that with Sonic side. So it really kind of does suck that they just left that as it is. I forgot how tedious the trophy hunting with this game was, that not only that I just straight up just wanted to get it over with, I forgot that I had to do 45 challenges for both classic and modern Sonic. And dude, I was mentally draining. I cannot lie to you. I don't even remember if younger me was enjoying himself doing all these type of stuff. And as I just wanted to get stuff over with, I was just slowly losing my skills that I just wanted to get this shit over with.
He's not even kidding. Oh, he's not kidding.
Bro, I'm like playing a game on that, bro.
Bro's getting spiked.
Bro, I'm gonna lose it. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all making me lose it. Fuck, bro. I'm actually gonna jump off right now. Fuck, man. Fuck, dude. I'm not having a good time. I'm really not. As I just started to just grow to not give a fuck anymore on even trying to perfect any challenge whatsoever, there was just things that was just bullshit to me, that how I just end up dying or how I failed the challenge. I was mentally done. I just did not care or wonder how the hell did I fuck up. Another tedious trophy that makes you go through all the stages again, and it's not the red rings this time. The thing is, if you remember the red rings, it's perfect, but the remaster added a whole new collectible stuff for you to find through the stages, and this kinda took some time in general. The remaster of Sonic Generation added chows for you to collect through the stages, and they're in obscure places that normally you don't even go through anymore because you're either too good at speedrunning the stage to the point that you don't even run into that spot, or they're actually in various places that you just did not know that you just passed through them and you just look stupid. This took some general time to actually go through every cranny spot of the stage like you're looking for the red rings. I decided to save this trophy for last for the Sonic side of Generations because this was obviously the most annoying boss fight to ever deal with. And that just goes with just trying to avoid not getting hit. But along with the bad controlling on both modern and classic Sonic, it was honestly one of the most annoying trophies to ever deal with, and actually wonder how the hell did you get hit with little things to actually achieve in order for you to achieve this trophy. The amount of times that you failed this whole thing, you have to repeatedly hear everyone saying,
Looks like a homing shot! Careful, Sonic! Looks like a homing shot!
Please be careful, Mr. Sonic! That looks like a homing shot! Be careful, Sonic!
but after the sheer will of wanting to complete this thing, I had to lock in order for me to beat this entire thing and get it over with so I could hurry up to the Shadoow side. And that was the run. Now that we got done with the Sonic side of the game, now we can just do all this stuff from the Shadoow side, and that was honestly a lot easier than what I had to go through. At least for what I've already accomplished by the time I already beat the game. The only things I really needed to do was collect all the little stuff that you can do to unlock all the chests. That was easy, so those two trophies was done. The only one that caused me a little bit more time was honestly just collecting the bolts, but good thing that most of the things I've already found, and I just needed to look through a few little obscure spots, and that was really about it. Anything else that was full breeze. And that was the point where now we just face the final boss and get done with our chapter.
The time has come, Shadoow.
Agreed. Time to sever this bond between us forever.
Embrace your fate.
if fate draws us apart, I will always be in your heart.